Let's go back. You said you self-sabotage with your sleep. I don't. I self-sabotage that way. I had a really good week. I want to have a cheat day week.
Yeah, I didn't mean a day. I meant the whole week is a cheat week.
And the whole cheat week turns into a cheat month.
Yeah.
Coming to you from 125 Carver in Waco, Texas, it's the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions are fun, real, and at times very uncomfortable. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to like and subscribe, and please ring the bell. Now, here are your hosts, Pastor Cello and Pastor Mia.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. It's Wednesday.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? So glad you guys are joining us again for another week. Appreciate all your love, support, and wonderful text messages, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for hanging with us for 6 years.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
Yeah, we're in season 5, so we're fixing to start season 6 coming up in a couple of months.
Oh, okay. I thought we were there already.
Almost.
Right.
We're real close.
Okay. Well, thanks for staying with us so long. We applaud you because we really appreciate you. Okay.
All right.
But last week, I kept saying there was something that I wanted to talk about, and I forgot it. And I was like, wow, whoever needed it, it didn't need to be said. So I remembered, and I wrote it down. That way we could talk about it today. And we're just going to get right into this thing because we know some of you are short for time. So, yeah. So I want to dig in real quick, and I want to tell you right away that the topic is about self-sabotaging.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Hit that bell.
Right? Well, I want to tell you, self-sabotaging is... it's just when people undermine their own good intentions and long-term goals. Self-sabotage occurs when people hinder their own success. Now, I say that because that's not really what brought me to that point that we wanted to talk about it. And, but it just... I don't know what I was doing and what made me think about it last week, but I felt like it needed to be a topic, period, because a lot of people do good things and they set goals like you want to lose weight, you want to stay healthy, you want to get up early, you want to try to read a book a year, or read the Bible, or drink water, like the cat. You ever seen that?
Lose weight.
Yeah, lose weight. You ever seen that? Did you know that? By the way, did y'all know that? Sorry, rabbit, squirrel. If you take a comb, so all of you who have cats have to try this. If you take a comb and you go, the cat goes, It's a real thing. Please let me know if it worked for you. Anyway, saying all that to say that maybe there's a habit that you want to try, or there's a new goal you want to set, and you're doing all good and great, and then all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, no, that's not for me. Or, oh, I suck at this. Or, boo, I'm no good at this. Or, I'll never be good. I'll never be prettier. I'll never lose weight. Maybe that's what it was. My jeans weren't fitting me, and I was gaining the weight that I had already lost. And it was because I was like, woohoo, lost some weight. Candy, 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 candy. Candy, candy, candy. Soda, candy. Type thing. So, and I think that just made me think about it, and I'm like, Mia, you're self-sabotaging yourself. You're just going through this horrible cycle over and over and over. So, just saying that, it says, when people take these destructive steps, their harmful behavior can negatively impact nearly every part of their life, including their love handles and their back fat. No, I'm just kidding. Their relationships and careers. And I just, I looked up this article because I knew people were going to say, that's not me. I'm just going to turn it off because I'm not self-sabotaging. Yeah, probably you are. You know what it was? It was you self-sabotaging your sleep. That's what it was, and it made me think about it because you, my friend, always interrupt your sleep.
But I don't self-sabotage.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
It's not the same.
I believe so.
No.
Anyway. All right. We're just going to leave it at that. Anyway, people thwart their progress for a variety of reasons. They may consciously or unconsciously commit acts of self-sabotage. The causes range from childhood issues to prior relationship effects. Other reasons for this type of destructive behavior vary from low self-esteem and coping problems to problems with cognitive dissonance, which will be explained. Now, you're just listening?
I'm listening, waiting for my time to talk.
Oh. Well, I'm going to let you talk about self-sabotaging because it also, what made me think about it and look into it was that I was listening to a podcast, and this podcast talks about attachment. And attachment is so huge right now, and people discovering it. I mean, it's been out there for a while, but my friend sent it to me, and I tell you what, it was an eye-opener at how to treat people and how to deal with people because of the way they were raised, okay? And the first thing I said to myself was, oh, well, there it is right there. Remember I said that about my sons. I was like, we never properly attached. Okay, go ahead.
Detached.
No, attached.
Okay.
Attached. Go ahead. Tell us.
I don't know.
You were going to talk about self-sabotaging.
No, it was, I mean, just going back to what you had read there, like self-sabotaging. So I think most people don't realize that they're doing it. You're saying, well, you're self-sabotaging, just, lack of sleep or my sleep patterns. That's not self-sabotage in the sense of like tearing things down. Self-sabotage, when you think about sabotage, what is the definition for sabotage? Right?
Yeah, the other article says when people do things to block their success or prevent them from accomplishing their goals.
No, but I'm saying, yes, that part. But I'm saying, what is the definition of sabotage?
Sabotage. I don't know. Let's ask Bugs Bunny because he used to say that all the time.
Right. So when you think about what the definition of sabotage is, and I want you just to read it, because you kind of it gives more clarity of what self-sabotage is, right? So if you understand what sabotaging is, think about what it says.
Destruction of an, I don't know, or hindering of manufacture. No, that's not right.
Read it. What does it say?
Well, it says destruction of an employer's property, such as tools or materials, or hindering of manufacturing by disconnected workers. That's not what we're looking at. Destructive or obstructive action.
What did you read in that? Was that a dictionary?
What is the meaning of sabotage? Yeah. Merriam-Webster.
Okay. So read the whole definition again.
That's just one. Let me read two. Destructive or obstructive action carried on by a civilian or enemy agent to hinder a nation's war effort. An act or a process tending to hamper or hurt.
Right. So when you look at what sabotage is, and understanding the definition, it says the enemy's activities, right? What did it say? To hinder or
hurt.
Or hurt, right? The plan. And so when you say self-sabotaging, basically what we're saying is with that terminology.
To hamper or hurt.
Yourself, right? So what happens a lot of time is we set goals for ourselves. We set guidelines, goals, things that we want to achieve as individuals in all different areas, relationships, finances, spiritual, all these different areas. But the thing that we do is that when we start achieving those goals, in other words, when you start achieving those goals and you're reaching those goals, we get in our heads subconsciously or subconsciously or consciously, and we begin to think in terms of we are not worthy of what we have accomplished. We are not worthy of the goal that we set and we actually met. And so the closer that we get to meeting that goal, what happens is we create situations, we create circumstances that will cause us to have problems, that will cause us to lose the very thing that we're trying to reach.
Yeah.
Right? Meaning, so if your goal is to make X amount of dollars a month and have this income, and right when you get there, you make decisions subconsciously or consciously that's going to cause you to spend more money than you're actually making.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you're doing things, and that can be everything from car maintenance, vacations, right? All these things. So you're like, man, if I could just make an extra $100 a month. So you reach the goal of making an extra $100 a month, But
And then you end up using it on something else instead of the goal.
Or, the goal. So you're not maintaining. So now you become your worst enemy. Well, all this happened. Well, you're the one that caused that effect. You caused that because of the
Causality.
Because you made some decisions, and so that's what we do. We self-sabotage. So, and what happens is it becomes a cycle, right? So you start doing real good, and as you're starting to reach your goals, or you've reached your goals, your metric goals, what we're afraid of is that next level.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So if you can reach this level of what your goals that you're trying to accomplish, when you get there, ultimately what we tend to do is we say, I'm not worthy of this. I can't believe this. Everything's so good. I can't. Something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, because everything's been so good.
Everything's been so good, and then when everything starts going bad, we literally say, "See, I knew it was too good to be true."
Yeah.
I knew I wouldn't be able to maintain it or obtain it and maintain it, right? And so we create these things. And so when you look at when you take that and you apply that to relationships, finances, when you apply that to churches, when you apply that to your job, right? So some of us, we have this thought process that unless we're fighting against something, that we have no reason, we have no purpose, we have no reason. So in other words, when everything's going good, we have to find something to fight against. Instead of just going, man, we're doing good. We're taking ground.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? I achieved all this.
Yeah.
Yay. Right? Mm-hmm. But then we're like, okay, I'm on top of the hill. Now I got to defend myself on top of the hill. Instead of going, okay.
Even though you don't need to, and just looking at the view.
Right.
And the perspective.
Right?
Yeah.
So that self-sabotaging comes is because we literally, and this is the whole reason that Jesus came to earth, right? So for our iniquities, right? And so we feel inadequate. We feel that we're not deserving. We feel like we should not have all the things that we worked for. So I had a young man tell me, it was so good, it was really, really good explanation. He said, when I was talking with him, and he said, I said, this is kind of what I'm seeing. I think you're just going through some issues. And he gave this example, really, really good. He said, so it's like a kid on the beach building a sandcastle.
Okay.
And the sandcastle is coming together, but it's not quite working out, right? Because the waves are coming up every once in a while. But he's getting it closer and closer to finishing the sandcastle of what he saw in his mind. Mm-hmm. But because a wave came or somebody came by and just knocked a little bit off of it, what he does is he takes his fist and he punches through the entire thing and says, I don't want to do this anymore because it's not even working right for me. Sabotaged all the work that he had done, all the effort that he had put in, only to say, like, that's why I don't want to do it.
A lot of people do that.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that was the best example because I'm like, wow, that's really good because what we do is we build these things and we're working on relationships or we're working on this and what we see, our goal in our mind, what we're trying to accomplish. But then when it doesn't work, we get mad and we sabotage the whole thing.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, okay, I just need to adjust this. I still have this. I just need to adjust this. Or I find a way, this water's coming in to hit my sandcastle, so I need to create a way for the water not to come in.
Or make a moat around it.
In other words, creating something that will help sustain and maintain all the work that we've built. We don't do that. What we do is we punch our fist through the sandcastle because the water's coming in.
Yeah, instead of taking an item, and you're so good about this, taking an item, for example, let's just say we were playing with a toy airplane. Remember the little people's airplanes? He has all the windows on the side. Looks like a 747, right? Or I don't know. Don't hold me to that because I don't know. But it looks like the airplane that leaves out of Waco, right? The small airplane. And he has wings. And you always call it a bus with wings because that's how it rides, to Dallas.
Well, that's how it feels.
Right? But let's just say that a kid was playing with that exact airplane model, right? Or the little people's one. And a wing breaks off. Well, instead of throwing the airplane away, why not break the other wing off and make it a bus? And still have the little people in it and play with it, right? But you always see that. I always saw the negative side of things. Now I see the positive side of things, or I see the other wing, let's take the other wing off.
How can we make this a better situation?
Yeah, which I never used to do that. Yeah. Negativity just was in my soul so much.
Exactly. So, I think what we do in life is that when things start coming, we first create things to take away from the things that we built.
Okay.
Right? So we're in other words, because of our iniquities, because we feel inadequate, because we feel like we're not deserving.
Sometimes it's pride.
Well, even so, it's pride, regardless of what it is. Like even
Yeah.
if it's pride, so we come in and we're just like, well, I'm not good enough, I'm too good, whatever, and so we create situations where things are starting to pull away from the things that we're doing, right? And so in that process, our ambition or our lack of understanding or appreciation of what we work for, we do things to pull it down so that we can become the victim.
Well, we've talked about that before.
make sense?
Yeah, we've talked about that. You can either be the victor or the victim, and most people walk in the victim mentality.
Yes, and that's how we self-sabotage,
Self-sabotage.
is because we want people to care about us and what's going on with us, but we're always sabotaging everything that we're working towards and what we're trying to accomplish, right? So it's kind of like the person, if I could just get this job, this would be the perfect job for me, right? So they go to work, they work hard, they get the perfect job for them, but the perfect job for them gives them everything that they've always wanted, but it's not good enough. So they begin to make steps to get a different job or to do a different career, and it just creates problems because they don't feel like, well, that's not enough. So everything that you worked for, you weren't satisfied with it. So you start tearing it apart, and everything starts falling apart because you weren't satisfied with what your goal was. Instead of going, you know what, I got this, how can I build on it? You start making decisions that literally starts ripping everything apart.
Yeah. Okay, let me finish reading this because this really goes with what you just said. So it says, people who self-sabotage might be aware of their actions. For example, someone who's overweight and on a diet might consciously sabotage their good efforts by eating a whole carton of ice cream. Hey,
Okay, now
let's not be
now let's
judgy.
go back. Let's go back. You said you self-sabotage with your sleep. I don't. I self-sabotage that way. Man, I had a really good week. I'm gonna have a cheat day week.
Yeah, I didn't mean a day. I meant the whole week is a cheat week.
And the whole cheat week turns into a cheat month.
Yeah. And it says, or they might unconsciously act. A person misses a work deadline. On the surface, it seems like he was running late. But the truth is, he's afraid of failure. Failure. Because that's where everybody normally is. 80% of us are afraid of failure. For me, I don't like to start a job unless I know that I have a day and a half. Like if I'm going to go clean the closet or work on a room, to clean a room, or a house or whatever, I have to know that when I start that job, I'm going to be able to complete it. I'm like, what's his name, the accountant, you know?
Gotta finish.
I have to finish. If I don't finish, then I feel incomplete.
And I feel like you've kind of
Come out of that.
No,
huh?
well,
What? Did I go in?
kind of no. I think kind of still there. Kind of maybe come out of it, but I feel like you've projected it onto me. So like now, like if I can't finish something, I
Don't be
start,
blaming me, self-sabotage.
I feel like if I can't finish it, like I start going,
You don't want to touch
I don't want
it.
to stop until I'm finished.
Yeah, but
Or
sometimes
I
you don't want to touch
start
it
unless I can
because
finish.
you know you're not going to be able to finish.
yeah.
And I used to be that way, really bad. I would be like, no. And I remember when I used to stay up till 2 a.m. to make sure it was going to get done. And even with my youngest, you know, I knew I was going to go induce labor into the hospital. I washed every piece of clothing, cooked 7 days worth of meals. Remember that? Washed every dish, mopped, swept, cleaned. My house was done, done. And
That's called nesting.
No. Listen,
Anyway.
And I could have came home from the hospital and sat in my clean house for a week without anybody needing anything. But was I able to do that? No. There's a harbor defense right there for them having a party in my house the very day I came home. Anyway.
That's therapy session number 14.
Yes, that was. Anyway, all right. But the truth is, he's afraid of failure. He self-sabotages by missing the due date. Thus, he thwarts his goal to move up in the company.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Right.
exactly that.
Okay, so now here's where the attachment comes in. The attachment episode was so good, and you guys really need to investigate on attachment. I'm just going to give you this clip, real short clip, and then maybe we can attach the link or something, because it is so, so good, okay? He hadn't even listened to it, and I haven't even shared with him because I'm too busy downing myself because I didn't attach to my kids right. It says, growing up in a dysfunctional family can contribute to your acts of self-sabotage. Without a secure attachment style, you might have an ambivalent or avoidant attachment style. Our earliest engagement with caregivers affects how we connect to others. And it says, if your parents told you growing up that you'll never amount to much, maybe you handicap yourself so that you fall short.
And you never will.
Yep. So I just want to say right there, just that whole self-sabotaging, we don't really think about it. And like some of you who turned off in the very beginning were like, self-sabotaging, that's not me, I don't do that. You don't know that because you really don't look at it. So I want to leave you with this. These are some 10 signs of self-sabotage, okay? And if these are you, just look forward and no one will know that we're talking about you, okay? Number 1, procrastinating. Number 2, people-pleasing. Number 3, negative self-talk. Number 4, waiting for the perfect time to start. Number 5, not setting or upholding boundaries. Number 6, I feel like I'm in the somebody will know, but I don't remember. I'll have to think about it. Making excuses or justifying behavior. Number 7, setting a goal without having an action plan. Number 8, surrounding yourself with unsupportive people. That's Halloween. That's scary right there. Number 9, getting off track when you start to see the progress. Oh, I lost 3 pounds. It's a cheat day. No. Number 10, not keeping the promises you make to yourself.
There you go. Everything I said.
So.
I think I have like 3 of those.
And
how many do you have to have before you be self-sabotaged?
That's what I'm saying.
Is it just one you're self-sabotage?
right.
You gotta have 3? Is it 5? If you have all 10?
I don't know. So just go through those again, repeat this, put it on repeat, and just think about if you do some of those things, because that's going to help you whether you are self-sabotaging yourself, and you just never know. I don't even want to get into the rest of it because it's just... It's so much and so many things. It's like veins, it's all veiny and everything is connected to each other like spaghetti, because it can't just be one thing that's causing you to self-sabotage. But I will say this. If you constantly live in the victim mentality, me, oh my, poor me, I can never do it, I'm never going to be nothing, I can never do nothing, that type of thing, then you're self-sabotaging in the story,
and you don't realize it.
And you don't realize it. Yeah,
and I think that's where real growth starts taking place. Is like, man, these are some things that I do. How do I need to adjust those? That's the key. So like, moving forward, that's the thing. Is like, okay, if you're yes to any of those 10, I mean, because like you read them and I was like, those are 3 of those are me. But
and those are the only 3 that you'll allow yourself to admit to.
I mean, because in other areas, I can see where I have grown past those areas because I was doing those things, not realizing that I was self-sabotaging in different areas in my life. But as we were reading those, you were going through those, there was like 3 that stood out to me, and I was like, yeah, I still need to work on that, or I'm working on that. Like, yes, I'm really working on that area. But I think going, I talked about self-awareness. Like, if you know that you're doing these things, then that's where you start working. Yeah,
but that's the thing. That's why I needed to do this podcast. Half of the people out there don't know that they're doing those things.
That's what I'm saying.
And you do it so often that it becomes your facts.
Or your facts, your lifestyle, your habits. Things that,
and you're like, no, I always do it that way. Okay, but it's still self-sabotage, whether you do it all the time or not. Okay, let me end here. Reasons this is some reasons that self-sabotaging happens. Can be insecure attachment style, low self-esteem, fear of getting hurt, fear of commitment, unhealthy relationships and beliefs, and coping problems when it comes to the matters of your heart. So it's really a heart thing. And, when I was thinking about it and reading about it, the self-sabotaging, you said something about, guess I'm not supposed to say it, but it just went right out one ear and the other one. You were just talking about something today when we were driving, and I can't remember. Anyway, all right. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope that you take the quiz of the 10 and see how many are yours. I don't know how many it takes for you to really, truly admit you're a self-sabotager, but you can be like, hi, my name is Mia, and I am a self-sabotager. Obviously your name isn't Mia, but so don't, insert name type thing. And just see if some of those things are causing you to knock down your success.
Yeah, to not reach your goals.
To not reach your goals, yeah.
Not just not reach your goals, but not maintain what you've reached.
Yeah. And to not want to set any, and to give up on yourself. And that's the bottom line right there. Some of you have given up on yourself because you keep self-sabotaging yourself and being like, I'll never be good enough. I was thinking about that. That'll never be me. That'll never be me. The song. So anyway, but don't say that. Don't say it'll never be me, because never is a harsh word, and that's not the truth. All right. I really, really do love you, and I really, really want the best for you. Therefore, I'm going to give you the truth. I know you can't handle the truth sometimes, but you can this time. Si se puede. All right. I'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I'll let you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineering provided by Capital G and RTV in Waco, Texas.